Hello? I was muted. Of course I was muted. Okay. So, nothing I just said was heard. So, I'm going to repeat it all. Where we left off, we had just named the language Martsalfs, or the free language, as it is the language of the lingua franca and the language of the forced democracy and whatnot. And we just named it, and we're going to start putting everything into a neat little grammar page. So it's not like this, and we don't have another her situation. Since the last stream, I have done a bit of thinking about the world, the larger world that the language is set in. So I expanded upon the timeline. I did some edits to it. I thought about power levels, as I do want to make this a TRPG, at least Pathfinder compliant, and a sort of notes. So, before I get into the language creation proper, I'll just go over what I've created or thought about. Hello, Kate. So, Legend of the Hungry One. They wished for power and to never be hurt again, ignored a warning and ate a fruit that made them invincible. They managed to never be hurt, be affected by temperature, blah 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 blah. But they feel constant hunger, and they are unable to sate their hunger as they are unable to taste the food, and when they eat, it doesn't fill them. So it's kind of like the god in Norse mythology, Freya's son. Except I don't think he felt hungry 100% of the time. I think he just didn't feel anything. Well, this one is always hungry. Like, always hungry to the... And I'm planning on doing something with them later. And then, races. There's supposed to be a few more races here. I don't know if I added them yet. But before I get power levels. So races are deeply tied to power levels in that there are two types of ways people gain strength. Which is advancing to godhood. One way is through bloodlines of mythical creatures in their ancestry. So this is going to tie into some classist undertones, disparity between the rich and the poor, nobility, and all that jazz. As they, because of their blood purity of the mythical creatures or whatever, they are stronger as well. But that has since died down since the Cataclysm due to martial lines becoming a thing. Where certain martial arts have found ways to train magic to strengthen their bodies and to ascend to godhood through that way. So, whether it be through unarmed martial combat, whether it be training with swords and bows, or training with a gun, or what have you. So, there are two ways to godhood. Bloodlines used to be very kept to the nobility and a small group of people, but have since spread out since the Cataclysm due to the rise of democracies. And one of those races are the mermaids, a race of humanoids who have gained power and changed form through leviathans. And these aren't going to be like the Disney mermaids. No, these are going to be like terrifying mermaids, like trying to think of a good example. I was going to say Pirates of the Caribbean, but that's kind of half and half. Yeah, more towards Pirates of the Caribbean, though. And then I also thought of this creature called the Wirthal, which is... ignore that. Tall human-like creatures with horns coming straight out of their foreheads, generally have red marks on each eye, on each cheek, and they hunt mermaids. They are the mermaids' natural enemies, and they are thought to have disappeared thousands of years before the Cataclysm. Now, if it isn't obvious, I'm reworking some ideas I've had before and just throwing them in here as I think they're still interesting. And I think that is it for the world itself that I have since changed. And I haven't actually worked on the language, but I will be doing that today. Okay. So we have a few language spoken in the Hemder. So let's start off with the nominals. Actually, ooh. Thank you. I thought they were interesting. I'm hoping to lean more into a Lovecraftian vibe than general fantasy vibe. So there will be like some general fantasy stuff because again, I want it to be Pathfinder compatible, but I do want to add some Lovecraftian, like Cthulhu inspiration there. I'm trying to think about how to transfer this to a neat document so it's not all over the place. So animate, inanimate, okay. Nouns in Martzalfs can possess one of three genders / states: animate, inanimate, and abstract. I guess genders works best there. Abstract nouns cannot be what's the term for that? Do not become plural. Can't become no, I'll just start with the animate nouns can be singular, dual, or plural. Inanimate nouns are singular or plural, and abstract nouns don't take number. Hoping people can see that. Yes, nouns. Such fun nouns. Oh, no, inanimate are collective or singulative. Collective or singulative. Okay, so all nouns can also take one of four cases depending on their role in the sentence. The base case is the direct case. Is the direct case which is used for the... Oh, nice. I can't wait to watch it. Though, it's kind of weird watching something I participated in. Which is used for the subject and object of the sentence. Which is used for both the subject and the object of the sentence. The indirect case is used in locative constructions and for the indirect object. Ooh. Move 1 and move 2 for lack of better names. Move 1 is used for motion towards or into something, while motion 2 is used for motion away or out of something. Didn't I have examples of these? Well, I guess not. I just had the numbers. Alright, because it's gonna be highly dependent on the words themselves. Because a certain... You think so? Yeah, actually, no. Yeah, that is actually a good... That is actually a good use of them. So, but I definitely had examples of these things in use, like Gnatli being a man and Aknatli being an allative away from the man. Ooh. Kninatli. Oof. Akninatli. Akninatli. There we go. Always a good sign when you can't pronounce your own thing. So I suppose I should also have update heading 1 to match, update null to match, morphology, morphemes in Matsalfs. Are a collection of 3 to 4 root consonants. These roots may also have a permanent vowel or may not. May have a permanent vowel. Okay, the illative and elative would list of grammatical cases. Oh. Illative and elative. The interior. Okay, motion from the interior. And then illative into. So yeah, those two are specifically for going in and out of something, but my cases move 1 and move 2, or as I'm calling them now, ablative and allative, are just a general direction. So the
Jack, hold on.
what's up?
I need to get Flossie. Mute yourself.
Oh, I need to mute myself real quick. 1 sec. My sister did not want to bust anybody's eardrums. So, good catch though. I'm terrible at remembering the names of the cases. And then I should probably do a bullet point style thing for this. Grammatical number is shown on the that's me with aspects. Aspect and tense, I've got those down, but for some reason cases are my bane. Grammatical number is shown on the is shown through infixation. And then grammar. For animate, shown through infixation on animate nouns and suffix. Well, the singulative is marked with a suffix on inanimate nouns. There we go. Dual. So what this means is that "-ine" is added after the second root consonant. And plural is added with a long ah. Ah is added after the second root consonant if it is followed by a vowel. T is added after the ah. Yeah. I cannot help you there. You should look at my thumbnails. They're literally just PowerPoint presentation slide thumbnails. And then inanimate singulative. Did someone... That is a long upload time, I must say. That is quite a long upload time. Singulative. Is added to the end of the word. All nouns can... Okay, now back to the cases. Cases are the same for no matter what the gender is. So direct direct is shown with an all cases are marked with prefixes. So may cause some words to lose the first non-initial vowel. And then so nope, elative, there we go, that's the word for it, is just a big U. Marks a nasal that merges in in place of articulation with following sound. And then ablative is how, which yeah, so it's marked with how, may cause some words to lose the first non-initial vowel. Also moves stress to prefix. That's what the little also moves stress. The that's meant to be indirect. No, the base case is not marked. Also moves stress to the infix. No, that's gonna annoy me. I hate it when this happens. Could I do continuous mode? I want to show outline. That annoys me to no end. Either way, so that is nouns. Everything we have so far for the nouns. Animate, inanimate, extract. Yeah. Let me get rid of those. I gotta keep Alex the Great's suggestion of a sentence. Another thing for nouns are, let me add some smaller headings actually. Grammatical number. I just like to have everything somewhat evenly spaced. Yeah, that looks better. And then here grammatical cases. Oh, casal marking. And then another thing with nouns is the didacticality. So definite and nouns are required to show definiteness and are marked for with the I don't know why I just blanked on what to say to you, but I can't think of what to say. Nouns are required to show definiteness, with the base being the indefinite by default. The definite markers are attached directly to the noun and must show deictic spatial deixis. So that is made through just adding suffixes to the nouns. Indefinite, unmarked, proximal, is marked with an N. Medial is marked with I think just a with a T. Distal is marked with oh yeah, over here, distal agreement. And then not present is marked with an us. So now this may seem like just a standard this, that over there situation that you see in, well, English and German and so many languages. However, in all of those languages, distal relations or deictic relations are not mandatory. They are optional. As in, if I said, if you could see me right now and you said, what is the microphone you're using? That is definite, and if you could see me right now, you could ask, what is the microphone you're using, or what is that microphone you're using? That indicating that it is close to me, not close to you. That information is optional in English. It's very optional in German, and in this language, in Martzalfs, it is not optional. You have to specify, unless you cannot see the object, if it's close to you, to someone else, or close to the person you're talking to. So, yeah. So there's that. Then I think that is everything for the nouns at the moment. Yeah, that's everything for the nouns that I've made so far. So why don't we switch real quick to look at the adjectives? Which right, I was showing natural gender on adjectives. I forgot about that. So adjectives, I'll put them under nominals because they can be considered a subclass of nominals. Adjectives decline just like nouns and must agree with the noun they modify. For animate nouns, they also agree in natural gender. And I want to make it clear here that natural gender also goes for presenting gender. So if you were talking about a trans woman, you would use the feminine forms. If you're talking about a trans man, you'd use the masculine forms. It's not about what gender they were born with. It's about the group they are part of. Does that make sense? Neuter is used for people who don't fit into these genders. Also usually for certain groups of people who have made vows of celibacy, I guess, or for just people in general. So, yeah. So, tsigum means like a sexy person, tsigma, sexy woman, tsigmi, sexy man, so on and so forth. Does that make sense? And I think that's all I really have to say about about adjectives. So I'm going to move on to the verbs. Which, one sec, let me just read through this again because it's been a bit since I've seen this. So infinitive, intransitive, agent, force. Right, okay. The subject of the intransitive verb is in the indirect case, it's active. The verb agrees with the topic of the sentence in gender and definiteness. There we go. I cannot say definiteness. There we go. Okay. Present, past, and future are marked with prefixes, and subjunctive is just an S added to the front. Kind of formulaic, but oh well. And then, yes, we have a few aspect. So imperfective versus perfective. So imperfective is the base. Inceptive, start, terminative. Okay, that seems pretty good. Okay. So gonna have to make a new heading 1 section to do this. How should I go about talking about this? 5 aspects / tenses. Verbs in Martselfs have 5 tenses. 5 no, it doesn't have 5 tenses. It has 5 aspects and 3 tenses. There we go. The tenses are shown through prefix. Yeah, let's think about this again. Verbs in Martself have one of 5 forms. Can have one of 5 forms. With each form showing a different aspect. 1 of 5 forms, 1 of 5 templates. The lateral roots may slot into with each form, with each template showing a different aspect. So there is the imperfective, which is the base form. 1, 2, A, 3, ooh. This is the base form of the verb. This is the base form of the verb used for ongoing actions and repeated actions. Next is the inceptive. Actually, let's do perfective first. Perfective, that is ifmaku, so that's, oh. Why won't you let me paste without formatting? So E1, 2, 3, ooh. Maybe I should use a better font for these templatic structures. This form is used for completed actions. Used for completing actions or actions as a whole, independent of whether they are ongoing or not. Also the base, no. Perfective, perfect. Because I just want to confuse people even more. This form is used for actions at a past point that are relevant to the point of reference. And then inceptive and terminative. Inceptive and terminative. Inceptive first. The inceptive is the start. It's this one. And the terminative is this one. For a second I thought you were just saying that you were 15 minutes behind again, but no. Hello again. How have you been? If you were 15 minutes behind again, that would have been impressive. That's good. So the inceptive, this form is used the starting point of an action, and this form is used for the ending of an action. Oh, this is supposed to be heading 1. This is also supposed to be Allegria Sands. Okay, so there are the forms. Each form has an "a" right before the third. Every form doesn't have an "a" before the third thing. Whoops. Oh well. Doesn't really matter all that much. Heading 2, tense. The present, future, and past all walked into a bar. It was a tense situation. There are 3 tenses within Martselfs. Past, that's why it looked wrong. Past, present, and future. Actually, should I add another tense? One for like the past few days and one for the past beyond the past few days. Yeah, I think I will. Can't remember if I decided against it originally, but I think I will. Recent past, far past. So, ta. La and sla. Actually, al, sal, hun, sun, sun, Yes, Hun or Shun because of. No, I already have an idea for my cursed conlang. I am working on that. And it is cursed. It's not the most cursed thing in the world, but it is cursed. And that will be presented before the deadline in September. Oh my god, this cursed conlang competition is so stupid. There are 4 tenses within Martzalf's past, far past, recent, past, present, and future. So present, unmarked, the base tense, recent past. That is just the simple ta. For things that have happened in the last few days, far past, we did al. The things that for things that have happened beyond a week, a while ago, and for storytelling. And then future, hun, for events that have yet to happen. I'll also throw in the moods. So there are 4 tenses within Martzalf's future. There are also 2 moods within the language. The indicative and subjunctive. So tenses. And moods. Indicative, unmarked, base, and then the subjunctive, which is marked with an S. This prefix goes before the tense prefix. This prefix goes before the tense prefix, yada yada yada. Is used for hypotheticals. And there are the tenses and the moods. Tenses. So there's our TAM system. Welcome back, Kate. Yeah. So I obviously have 2 viewers. I'm just pointing this out because I find this amusing. I have 2 viewers at the moment, obviously. You, Alex, and you, Kate. I have no idea if Kaisera and Mapping is still here. But I may have 2 viewers, but it only shows 1 concurrent viewer. I may be saying that and what Alex has left, but either way, it is an interesting thing that happens. Welcome back, Yeah, so I have 3 viewers, and it only shows 1 concurrent viewer. Now it shows 0 concurrent viewers. Look at that. Oh, now it's showing 2 viewers, but either way. It does hate me. I just don't understand. Okay, so that is the aspect and tense and mood, tam, all situated. And now this part. Should do a smaller subheading of agreement, because this is what that is showing. It's agreement. So agreement, verbs agree with Martselfs is a topic prominent language, with the topic of the sentence coming first. With the topic of the sentence coming first. The verb then agrees in gender and deixis with... Oh, it has its own little delay, yeah, but... I don't know. It's been doing that even at my... no matter where I am, so I'm just assuming people are tabbing out of the tab or the video or something, but c'est la vie. So the verb then agrees in gender and deixis with the topic. The verb is also marked to show if the sentence is intransitive or if the subject comes before the object or vice versa. So another bullet points. More bullet points. Well, part of the reason I'm writing out so much stuff so early on is because I've shared this folder in the description below. So people can come on, look at these things. I don't think I've enabled comments, as that would be insanity, but I'm considering it, so if people have like suggestions or something's not clear, I can go in and clean it up. But yeah, I usually don't have this much detail either. I have, I think, been influenced a bit though by my friend Cactus, who always goes into extreme detail on how everything works. He's usually here watching and will comment on Discord, but I don't think he is able to today as he's in China. So, gender agreement. So if the topic is neuter, it takes base oo. If topic is feminine, it takes base it takes ah, and if topic is masculine, it takes e. So that is here. How about, I'm probably opening myself up to a world of hurt with this, but commenter. So if people want to leave comments, they can on things that they might want explained more. Okay, I'm turning that off immediately. You just had to go and ruin it immediately, Kate. You just had to immediately do that. For shame. For shame. Gender agreement. So, final thing. The intransitivity intransitive, that is just an I'm gonna have to explain this a bit more. In the imperfective, perfective, and perfect, the in the imperfective, perfective, and imperfect, the is changed to a Okay, Agent Faust, I see what's going on here now. Then Tefmekis. Has an every verb has an after the first root, except for the perfective, where it appears before the third root. Intransitive, this is agent first, and becomes an or a depending on if it is stressed or not. Except for the perfective and perfect, where it appears before the third root. The turns into a, and patient first. Patient first, the turns into an o. And that is showing the transitivity. Now, that doesn't mean that the topic of the sentence can only be the agent or the patient, though it generally will be. The topic of the sentence could be the indirect object, for instance, or it could be a locative, so where something's happening. So I should add that. The topic of the sentence doesn't have to be the agent or patient, but can also be the indirect or locative statements, in which case the verb still agrees. I'll just leave it like that. So feminine, gender, transitive, intransitive. Topic is marked by placing it first in the sentence. Intransitive verbs can be either passive or active, depending on whether the noun, I don't think it's the topic, whether the subject, whether the subject is placed in the direct or indirect case. If the subject is direct, it's the intransitive verb is active. If the subject is indirect, the verb is passive. And there we go for that. And I think so far that is all the grammar we have made to this. Oh, no, I forgot to add the definiteness. Definiteness. So verbs just add the same suffixes as nouns and adjectives. Actually, do adjectives agree in definiteness? I don't think I've said anything specifically for that, but it would make sense. Yeah, it would definitely make sense. So yeah, now I think that's everything we've had so far for the base grammar, like the very base of what the language will be. And now we find ourselves in the similar situation as the villager conlang, in that in order to really expand the language, I'm going to need example sentences, like a lot of example sentences, as well as words. Problem with words is I'm going to need to think up of them while creating the world itself. Though there are a bunch of base words one could use. So I'm going to create another sheet. Example sentence submissions. In this sheet specifically, I will make it so anyone can edit. Only this sheet, however. Words are tough, yes. And then here you can... Oh, what? I have no idea how I did that. Let's see. Just gonna do this real quick. Please leave examples in English. I will use them to practice translating into myself and as basis to create more vocab and grammar. Okay, and I think so. If people want to leave example sentences in English, I will use them in the future. Though I have the right to choose which example sentences to use, so if you leave anything too out there, Kate, I'm looking at you. I will probably not use them, though, these sentences are good. I feel like I've opened Pandora's box. But either way, I think this is where I will be ending the stream today. And next time I stream, I think it's going to be Mondays from now on, though I might do Wednesdays. I will work on her. So, I bid you... Oh! Wow. That is a lot. Anyway, I bid you all adieu.